Good news, everyone. This episode of Flipper Flicks is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. We recently joined as a member, and you can too. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co. I hope you enjoy this episode.
Cue the singing giraffes!
In a world filled with explosions, guns, and galore, we have a villain and a hero. And Adam.
And Sam from Flipper Flicks.
Tim. Hi.
How's it going, Tim?
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
I never know! Okay, so I guess we're on social media. Who knew? As the old person in the group, I'm not a socialite. But you can find us at Flipper Flicks on Twitter, Instagram. We are on Spotify, right? Yeah. Anchor, and Apple Podcast if you like taking a bite out of an apple. I mean, you can find us on 1 p.m. on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Eastern.
Not rehearse any of this. Yeah, Eastern time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't go searching for us at 1 p.m. in Germany.
Yeah. Standard UTC or whatever. But
not
1
UTC.
PM, yes, not UTC.
That's +6.
EST. Eastern.
Or -6. Eastern.
It's in the time zone.
Thank you for clarifying that, guys.
So Sam, what movie did we watch?
This week we watched Extraction!
Extraction!
It is a Netflix original, because we landed on streaming original. And the synopsis for this bad boy is: a hardened mercenary's mission becomes a soul-searching race to survive when he's sent into Bangladesh to rescue a drug lord's kidnapped son. So, what were the ratings, guys?
It looks like Rotten Tomatoes give it a 58% by the critics, which we discussed this in a previous episode. Like, how do critics rate straight to video movies?
Right, like streaming originals?
Like streaming originals. They never, I guess critics are still hired to look at Netflix movies.
I think so, to get some, general buzz, maybe.
Yeah, Netflix is like, hey, can you go rate me?
But it's still kind of weird, because, I feel like
when you think
we don't
critics,
need them. You could just put reviews from users straight on Netflix.
Yeah, when you hear critics, you think, oh, these people saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And they reviewed it.
They had their private popcorn stash with their little sody pop. And they had a big old notebook writing shit down.
Just like us.
Yeah, exactly.
The audience, however, gave it a 70%. 12-point bump there.
That's decent.
The IMDb, which is typically one of the lower ones, is 6.8 out of 10. That's solid. Yeah, and then Google, being the friendly son of a bitches that they are, gave it a 90%.
I swear. They just
I think it's just all movies are 90%.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny if you look at them and you're like, oh, okay, they're pretty even. Critics are a little bit lower, and then it's just like Google takes off like it's a rocket.
I like it. I think it's Google's Google, you got a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Probably.
Oh, maybe that's what.
So that'll sway the results.
I know nothing about it, so who knows?
Yeah, I don't know how their background data looks and everything.
I think Google just likes movies, so they're like, fuck it, 90% for everybody. You get a 90%, you get a 90%, you get a 90%.
But why doesn't Apple have a rating?
They might on, on
their Apple search engine? Apple
TV was what I was thinking.
Oh.
No, but don't they do reviews? So
do they?
I don't know.
We're super professional and know nothing.
I don't like fruit. Back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, meatitarian.
I love fruit, actually. I just had a bunch of strawberries.
And yelled good morning at somebody when it's the evening.
I did, and it was 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
They're like, man, something's in those strawberries.
Look at Truman over here. Yeah. Doesn't know what time of day it is.
No, but what I was trying to say was that Amazon Prime still has ratings in the platform, doesn't
That
it?
is true.
So I would assume
Yeah.
that Apple has something similar, but
But
Who
wouldn't
knows?
it just be through Netflix, not Apple?
dude, I don't know.
Okay, anyways.
We got on a big old
Extraction.
tangent.
It's extreme with a capital X.
Yeah. It's an action movie. Extraction.
Yeah,
Also,
extra
it just
action.
came out, so
Did it?
spoilers.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, super spoilers.
Because it
Yes.
just literally came out.
Like 2 weeks ago or something?
Something
when we're
like that,
from
yeah.
when we're recording.
I've been holding
Yeah.
off watching this because my buddy at work was telling me to watch it, and I was like, I'm holding off because I'm gonna get it on the podcast. I know it, and sure enough,
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. I
I
was
was
thinking
saving
the
it.
same. Oh, go ahead.
Nope, that was it. I spilled my coffee as I was saying that, so I went.
Oh, no. He was so excited to watch it, he spilled his coffee.
So excited to just talk about it.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that I saw it come onto Netflix, recently, as we said. And I thought the same thing. I was like, man, I kind of want to watch this, especially because I saw some buzz on the gram about it. Like, a couple of other podcasts have done it. And I was like, all right, like, I like Chris Hemsworth. It's
like
an
Thor?
action movie.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
a big fan of Thor.
And I was like, but is it something that I would flip on normally for me personally? Probably not. So I was
From
like,
initial thoughts.
right. So
Right.
so I was like, we'll just save it for the podcast. So Adam, what were your thoughts? Did you know it existed?
Yes, I knew it existed.
Okay.
Because Netflix does like this Netflix Top 10.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
relatively new too.
That is a newer feature, at least on our TV.
Hashtag
Right.
thanks quarantine.
Yes. Anywho.
Anywho.
Yeah, I think it was always like number 2 to something like Joe Exotic.
Yeah, it's been pretty high for a while.
But then it dips off. Everything dips off eventually.
yeah, except for
Are
Well,
you gonna say Avatar: The Last Airbender? That just came out on Netflix too, though.
that's
so.
true.
Yeah.
It hasn't had a long enough time.
They just
It
had
hasn't
something
had-
else drop too this week. I don't remember what, but
They always be dropping shit on Netflix.
hey, I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
So, if you guys are looking for streaming originals, hit up Netflix because they're always putting shit out there.
But my initial thoughts were, it's a war movie, and outside of 1917, this is the second war movie we have seen probably in the last 5 years.
This is a
And
war.
it war
You guys watch
esque.
Dunkirk?
Okay. No, never saw Dunkirk.
All right,
we don't
continue.
see, we don't see these type of movies typically.
I know.
I don't know. We're gonna disagree here. I don't think that it's a war movie.
It's in a war torn area.
Okay.
But would
Did
you
you
say
read
we
the
see these type?
synopsis or anything, or like before you watched it, or like
Yeah.
or anything?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
to
like
figure out that it was in Bangladesh.
Yeah, I mean, I read the synopsis, but to me, it's like a kidnapping action movie. It's more like Taken.
Right. Well, that's why I'm
Okay.
trying to
I would
figure out
agree.
where Adam's getting the war torn movie from, but
I don't know.
It just felt war-y.
he
to
This
me.
is a
saw guns and
mercenary.
military and was like war.
Yeah, actually, like when I just saw the picture,
That makes sense.
I read mercenary Bangladesh. He's in a bulletproof vest, and I was like, that's a war movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like he's in like
He's in war. He's in like 13 Horses.
yes. Well, and I was gonna say, I feel like what he's wearing throughout the film is like reminiscent, kind of like it's probably just like camouflage ish, but
Mhm.
like it's green and like khaki, and then he has like fucking rocket launchers and shit. So I'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's how I got the war part.
Yeah, yeah.
But we don't typically go and seek these films out.
We don't watch action films.
Not gun gun boom boom actions. We see ones with swords and shit.
That's true. We're more fantasy people.
Tim?
For me, like just seeing it there, seeing it, it's like another action movie. It could be hit or miss for me because I'm kind of critical of them, even though they're supposed to be a little over the top. It just depends on like the settings and everything and how realistic it's supposed to be and whatnot. So I was expecting, a little over the top, very cliche action movie, but I was not gonna have a problem sitting through it and watch. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. You're a little picky when it comes to action. You're like,
Yeah.
these fight scenes have to be exactly right.
Not necessarily
I'm just
that.
kidding.
I'm not any expert or anything. I just hate when like somebody does something that just is super ridiculous and it's just for the sake of like not even supposed to be over the top, but like they're trying to sell it as something that would be realistic, which I do have a few of those in this movie, but we'll get
Something
there when we
like,
get there.
would you say when Tyler Rake takes a rake to somebody's face?
You know, that could happen. But
No, I know. I just thought it was hilarious that his last name was Rake. And I saw him stare meaningfully at a rake.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually. Yeah.
And then at one point, I think he kicks a table and breaks somebody's neck. Like, somebody's sitting down.
I don't know that he necessarily broke anything with it. It just looked like he knocked the guy out. Like.
Yeah, he did some impact damage.
Yeah. Which probably would hurt like hell. It's funny, though, because we'll compare that. I'll go ahead and bring up a point. So we'll compare that. So he kicks a table into somebody, right? This guy's already hurt. But he kicks a table, hits the guy in the head, guy's head hits the wall, whatever. Falls over, knocks out. Later on, they're running around, right? And they fall off the roof, remember?
Yeah.
And they fall down into the street.
Right.
The dude smacks his head against that truck as he falls down.
Which one? Saju?
Yeah.
Saju?
He is not getting back up, but yet he rolls over and gets back up. Like, there's no way you fall that far, hit your head on that truck, and get back up, like, immediately. So it's just more, that's very action cliche, stuff like that. So that's one of the extremes that I found in the movie that was, like, just ridiculous. But
was that even that far of a fall? Like, it seemed like, Ovi could have just hopped down on, like, the rooftop and then slid down instead of trying to take the staircase and getting captured.
He's a kid.
I know, but...
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on.
This is interesting to me because I actually have a couple different notes where I was praising the fact about how realistic it is. So I don't know what to say.
No,
it
is.
But...
It is. There's the whole movie is very realistic to me, and it's very accurate. And I like specifically how it was filmed multiple times. I really like the camera angles and stuff, and like what they did. There was a little shaking that annoyed me, but for the most part, everybody's doing stuff deliberately and in a realistic way to me, and I like that a lot. It was just very few minute things that, were a little over the top because it's an action movie. The people are supposed to be like super badass and like, you know what I mean? Like they're not normal people. So,
yes.
But like they're still people, So like when you're in that realistic area, having somebody fall and then like smash their head against something from like 10 feet up, they're not getting back up. They're not. For a little while, they're not getting back up if they do get back up. So,
they're
something
like that.
That's the only time, right? That's at least a concussion. So no, I'm going on too far, but yeah, no. I agree with you, Sam. A lot of it was very realistic. Yeah.
Tim Rant. Anyways, I was going to tell you that there's an 11-minute sequence of a single camera shot, similar to how 1917 does it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that I heard some buzz about the fact that they did continual shots like 1917, which was like
it wasn't the whole movie.
Cool, yeah, I'm interested because like I just think that's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
But then I didn't even freaking notice it when I watched this movie because I have both a lot of beef and a lot of props. So let me start with my props.
Fair enough.
We already started with the realistic part, so I'm going to start with my props there. But what is your question?
I was just going to ask you, like, what type of restaurant we looking at here? Like,
we're looking at a full restaurant.
We're like, are we talking like a Chili's level restaurant, or are we talking like next level up? Like, are we past like random franchises?
I would say it's probably like a franchise level establishment. Perhaps it's a mom and pop diner.
Mom and pop. We'll go mom and pop diner.
We'll start with a diner, and by the end, I'll reevaluate. So, realistically, let's go with my props. Like, I liked that he was prepared. Like, dude had a team with him, right? And like, he had a bunch of like bulletproof vests. He even brought one for the kid, and like. Kind of what you were saying, Tim, I feel like a lot of times, and we've discussed this before with Anna, but a lot of times people are just like magically badasses out of nowhere. They like know how to do shit, and like they don't even fucking have like something as simple as a bulletproof vest half the time, they don't even have like a team of people with them. They're just like, oh, yep, my daughter was taken, and I'm just gonna make it work on my own. Like,
shots fired at Liam Neeson right now.
I mean, I liked that movie. I'm just saying there's a lot of unrealistic parts of it, whereas this one felt more realistic from the beginning. And then also, like, one of my favorite parts that was realistic was when he's in the car chase scene and he fucking misses the turn when the lady's giving him directions. And I'm like, that would happen. Like, you're trying to stay alive while also going through a city that you presumably haven't been through. Like, you're gonna miss the turn. And I don't think I've seen a single other action movie where somebody misses the turn.
No, they like, magically have, like, the avenue they need to go down. And, like, it's there.
They even had GPS.
Yeah, like, they don't have GPS. They just have a GPS in their mind of the city that they've never been to, which is, like, some bullshit. So... I don't know. I really liked that part.
All right, so I'm gonna send you a negative.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, how satellites? They had like the satellite GPSs of them when they were like near the boat scene, and suddenly they had a red dot for Saju.
Yeah.
I was like, how did you just suddenly get GPS on the enemy?
That was a point of mine too. So my only thought with that was they were able to see him briefly, and they tracked him for a second because they don't go back to it.
Dot.
Yeah, she's like, okay, he's moving in on you. I'm trying to just, like, justify it, whereas I agree with you. So my only thought was that, okay, so they show the dot for a second because they were able to see him and track him, but then they lost him because she does say he's moving in on you, but she doesn't say specifically where from or anything after, like, the initial, like, tracking. But I agree. I thought that was ridiculous that they all of a sudden had a magic red dot appear with a, marking and, like, that's the bad guy, he's coming for you. So...
Yeah, I know. And then they also had the boats.
Yeah.
The boats are a little more understandable. They're like out in the open on a river.
Yeah. Presumably if you like had somebody
If you had a really good satellite, it looks like a video game radar.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the funny other thing I agree with you on. Why are they the shape of boats?
That was like,
there's no reason for them to be a shape of anything. That's not something that is like, are you like dragging and dropping? Oh, look, that's a boat coming on screen. Let's go ahead and drag and drop this image and make it. All right, so that's 2 boats. So it's like,
we got 2 boats. We got 3 in total.
Or, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I felt like I was playing Battleship right there when I saw 2 boats on the screen.
Well, Saju sunk their battleship.
Yeah, hardcore.
Yeah, he was just like this badass. Like, he just looks like basically what was a nanny. And then, no, he's ex-special ops.
Okay, so, like, he is the equivalent of Liam Neeson in this film, right? Like, because presumably he's just a badass out of nowhere, and, like, he's not really that prepared. Like, he just has a special ops background, so he's a badass.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they both were.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that's pretty accurate. I mean, for the... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that was pretty good of them. Because you don't, like, forget that kind of stuff. So the training those people go through and whatnot, that's all kind of hardwired in. And a lot of those people still practice those kind of things, especially, like, in the environment he's in. He's working for a drug lord, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He still needs this skill set. So I think he still practices, does all this stuff. I mean, that type of person kind of always stays in that mental state. They always kind of have it on the back of their mind, and kind of like, one day they might be like, oh, I haven't trained in a while, they go train, stuff like that. Just from my experience meeting people. So I would say, yeah, like, that's pretty good. He was pretty good.
I just thought he's a terrible
I'm
organizer.
trying to reverse Sam's beef here. She's not happy about it.
She's not. She's biting her tongue. But Saju, he might be like good with guns and everything, but he's terrible at planning.
Yes, he was
onto the
not
ship.
like the
If he just let the ship go and then murdered the people, they would have gotten away and he would have been all set because the kid would have been on the boat.
Right.
The sniper wouldn't be sitting there waiting for him.
Yeah.
I just terrible planning on your part, Saju. Terrible. Take a lap.
Now, I do agree with this, Sam. I do agree with this. He probably doesn't keep up as much as Tyler does with his stuff, because Tyler still actively like goes out and does this, as is like they basically say, like he goes out and does whatever jobs. So the other guy is probably a lot more relaxed. So I do agree with you there. He probably would have been a lot less prepared in general and trained as Tyler. So I do agree with you there.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say my biggest beef with this film, like
this is like the quadruple pounder.
No,
okay.
Let's just erect the full-on restaurant at this point. Like, let's
All
just
right,
go for
bring
it.
it on. Do it, Sam.
So, like,
do it.
I feel like this movie, I do not understand the point of it. Like, we're just gonna hop right to there. Like,
I agree.
I feel like it took way too long for them to explain the characters, and when they did, it was like a hurried scene that needed to fit there. So, like, let's start
about the mumble.
Well,
Sorry.
That's a whole other different, like, that's a patty, okay? Because, like...
I couldn't understand them the whole time.
It
just
would
sounded
be
like they were
super
mumbling.
cool if, like, the sound editing people would have fucking done their jobs, or maybe Chris Hemsworth would have, like, enunciated a little bit better. But we're not even gonna go there, because for that, like, that wasn't that big of a point of contention for me. The biggest point of contention was that there was, like, no story to me. So maybe I missed it because that happens a lot, right? Like, I'm not paying attention. But we're introduced to him, and then, like, we're not really told very much about him until they're, like, in the house, and it felt very forced. Like, oh, shit, we're, like, an hour into the movie, and we don't know who this guy is or, like, what his story is. Just that he's, like, trained in a badass and trying to save the kid, right? And so, like... The kid then just basically interrogates him so that we can get the details out for the script. And then, like, we don't really build anything from that.
Yep.
Right? Am I alone over here in this?
No,
Did you feel
I
like
agree.
you knew what was happening?
I agree.
I knew what was happening, but, like, it was a very thin plot.
Right.
I mean,
like, it wasn't beefy. Like, it was like they had
it wasn't
an
complex.
outline. Yeah.
Right. Just a raw action movie with, like, oh, right, we probably should explain our characters.
Exactly.
We're halfway through it.
Edit this shot and throw that in there.
Yeah.
Have her ask a few questions that she already knows the answers to.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, yeah. It's just all purely for the audience to, like, try and hook onto the characters a little bit more, I guess. Or,
Right.
like, even the, like, his family and stuff. Like, he kept having flashbacks and stuff of, like, his kid and whatnot, and the kid had to interrogate him about it. It's like... Honestly, you didn't even... I don't know. You probably should have established that sooner, but... Yeah.
Right.
Did his kid drown? Can we confirm or deny this?
What?
I think
No. He died of lymphoma.
See, the mumble got me there. I couldn't hear I never heard how he died, and he kept showing him by the ocean. They kept emphasizing drowning. And I was like...
Yeah. It was lymphoma. He died at 6 of lymphoma.
Oh. I thought the kid drowned.
I had subtitles
You did too, right?
I definitely did.
I
Did you
cheated.
say you had subtitles on? Oh, see, that's not fair!
I cheated.
I was actually going to compliment the subtitles real quick, because when they do speak Hindi, which I have a comment about that in a second, but when they were speaking Hindi, Saju was on the phone with his wife, and when he was talking, it was a normal font, but when she was talking, they put in italics,
Right.
so that you could tell that she was the one talking. And I was like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So I've worked with plenty of people from India, and they have something crazy, some silly number of languages.
Right.
And they said if you are walking around with people you don't know, you just speak English.
Yeah.
Because the chance of you knowing the exact same other language as them is very
Interesting.
Like, Hindi is their like most popular language.
Right.
Most popular. That's the wrong way to say it. And then I forget the other two. I actually took a bit of an interest in this for a bit, but they say just speak English. We all know English. And I was like, okay. Because when Sam and I were trying to plan a trip, I would ask, should I learn Hindi? They're like, nah, don't worry about it.
Well, and I think they do that a little bit in this film, but that might just be because, like...
There was one scene where it happened.
Right.
Because a guy comes at him in Hindi, and I think the kid looked dazed or something, and then he said it in English, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then they were swapping between Hindi and English. It was like Spanglish. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, but I think that would be realistic because if you don't know the language very well, right? Like, you only might know certain phrases, and so you would flip to the other one, like, or something just, like, doesn't translate. The only reason I'm saying that is because I just read a book with Punjabi widows in it, and they would switch between English and Punjabi because they didn't know the translations very well. So, like...
Okay.
Yeah. So
I was talking about when Saju was talking with his wife. He
Yeah.
would switch with English sometimes and then Hindi, and they both knew both languages, so...
Yeah, well, you don't know where they met.
I don't.
Maybe she learned Hindi from him and she doesn't know very well.
That's true.
Wow,
That's true.
nope, I stop. I'm not defending this movie. Not taking that stance. Erase all of that.
Can't.
We can't roll backwards.
Well, can we roll backwards for a second, though? Because I have some beef with the very beginning.
Yeah.
The first scene starts in Medias Res. Throw in my little Latin in there, which is in the middle of the action. I only know like 2 Latin phrases, even though I took multiple years of it.
Like 4. 4 years of it.
I just wanted to use it because it's actually applicable, all right? But anywho, I know they do this with other movies, but once again, I just want to harken on the fact that they did not set these characters up for you, because it's like the first scene and dude's dying and you're like, am I really going to watch him die? Like, I don't even know what's happening. And I know that movies do that, but usually then they like flip back in a way that makes sense. And I don't know.
Or like they're like the story is structured about him walking across the bridge, like dying. It would like go to the flashbacks and then come back to present day, and he's slowly moving down, getting shot at more. Go back to the flashbacks and continue the story.
Yeah, or they would at least flash you back to Chris Hemsworth.
Crimson
Hemsworth.
Crimson Chin?
Crimson Chin.
Crimson Chin.
Although, does he have a nice chin? I don't know.
He's got a solid chin line.
Because I was like, I don't know. I don't think of
Here
him as
he
like
comes, the Crimson Chin.
a chinny man, but maybe he is.
He is Thor.
What was my point? My point was that usually they flip back. You guys got me distracted. Usually they flip back and then try to get you like invested in the character. And
Right.
what? Like the next scene was like him just like jumping off the cliff, holding his breath underwater.
Yeah.
Right?
But they showed that at the very beginning. Oh, wait. You're talking about when he was still in Australia.
Yeah. So
I liked that.
we see
by the
him
way.
die, and the next scene.
You don't
is
see him
what?
die.
Is it the kid at the beginning? Like the
At the
opening
beginning. So
scene.
it
He doesn't
starts
die
on the
right there.
bridge. Yeah, he doesn't die right there. He
Yeah.
doesn't die.
Spoilers! I'm not
that's-
to that yet.
Okay, so he's on the bridge getting shot at.
Yes.
And then it goes to the kid. And then it cuts to him in Australia.
Yeah.
Does it though, or does it go to?
No, the kid gets bagged. Which, what is the drinking age in Bangladesh?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Probably young.
Because they're like, let's
I
go to
think,
the club.
I think it is younger over there. Yeah.
A lot of countries are a lot younger than the U.S., but
Yeah, I'm pretty.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's. I don't know. I feel like he's still underage, but I'm not sure. Because
Yeah.
what was he? 14?
he looked
He was
young.
a youth.
I thought they said how old he was at one point.
Well, regardless, there's a total ban of alcohol in the country of Bangladesh.
Well, and I thought.
But he's a son of a gangster.
Right.
I thought that was funny because it flips to him and he's like, "I'll meet you at the club in 30 minutes." Like,
Right.
I know.
who are you?
He's like this little nerdy kid.
Yeah. So that's
And
like
then
what I'm
like his
saying.
friend gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Which was my first oh fuck moment.
I laughed
Right.
at that. Is that
Straight
Oh
bad?
my god.
Straight up, I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then you know what my next one was? When they're chucking children off buildings.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like,
I kind of liked that. I was like, nice, you're actually killing the kids. Well, no, you never see kids get hurt in movies.
oh my god.
Come on, you knew what I meant.
I was actually gonna say,
Oh, shit.
I straight up I'm probably going to hell for saying this, but who do you think did it better? This movie or It's Always Sunny in
I
Philadelphia?
have that written down too. Who beats up kids better, Chris or Mac and Charlie?
I
Oh,
think-
that's tough.
I think Chris does it better because you can tell that he's like annoyed and doesn't want to do it.
Piss off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Slaps the
that's
kid in the face.
My stance. What about you, Tim?
Part of that scene is one of the issues I have with like every action movie. I did like how he was annoyed. It was a great scene. I enjoyed it. But like the kid standing there like, I'm going to kill you, holding the gun.
Mhm.
Like, why didn't he just pull the trigger?
He
Yeah.
did. He did pull the trigger, and
No,
it didn't
that's-
fire.
That's earlier.
No, like it happened again.
I don't
In
know
the
about
alleyway, somebody shot at him. Like one of the kids had a gun at him and shot, and it didn't
that.
fire.
Maybe I'm thinking of different something, but I'm talking.
Oh, there's another tiny kid.
My
that did
main
it.
point is just that bad guys always hesitate.
Yeah.
That's
That's
really
true.
just the point. Bad guys always hesitate in action films,
Yeah, they should.
which
just
is a
shoot.
big cliche thing. They're like, "Ha ha, I've got you," and oh no, now I don't.
That's why I laughed when the kid got chucked off
Yeah.
the building, was because he didn't hesitate. He just chucked the kid off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, oh fuck was my second oh fuck, was a kid just got chucked off a building. And I, like, what am I watching, was my thought.
Farad or whatever his name was told to cut off his two fingers.
Right.
Which fingers would you have chosen? I think both my pinkies.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
My
That
second
was
thought
mine,
was,
too.
I'm within arm's reach of this guy telling me to cut my pinkies off. Guess who's losing a throat? Like,
Yeah, that was actually my thought. He's handing me this knife.
yeah, I'm not maiming
Like-
myself for you. And you just gave me the knife. Guess what?
I know. And I just don't believe your reaction time is going to be good enough.
Well, but he had that, like, here I go defending this movie again.
God.
Why are you guys putting me in this position? I did not want to be in this position. I'm supposed to be erecting restaurants, and I have to defend this movie. What I was going to say was that the guy, like, the second-hand bad guy,
fat
like,
guy?
special... No, he was creepy.
He was funny looking.
The special ops sniper guy was, like, right behind him.
Oh, the captain?
Yes. So, in theory... But he still probably could have got pretty far before that guy noticed.
Oh, he would have been cut at least.
Yeah, he would have at least been injured. But in that scene, he's like, oh, you should just... I would pick your left hand so you can still fire a gun. And I'm just like...
What if he's left-handed?
Yeah. Also, why wouldn't you spread the wealth? Like, why would I cut 2 fingers off of one hand when I can just not and cut, like, 1 off each hand and still be relatively, like, usable?
Yeah.
That's my point. Come on, dude. Really?
Come on. He still lost a finger.
He did.
Later on, he did it himself, though, which was silly, but...
He did? I thought he got it shot off.
No, he says he cut it off. They even give it to him. It's wrapped up.
Yeah, they give it to him wrapped up.
He says it's a gift. He gives it to him.
I thought his finger got shot off, like, during the fight scene because somebody missed Chris Hemsworth and shot him.
No, I'm pretty sure he did it.
I believe you guys. I believe you guys.
Was
You don't need to defend it.
He was gonna cut another one, right?
Yeah, just so he could shoot him.
So that he
After,
could,
yeah.
What? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
get
all these
it.
kids look up to, like, it. That's a weird common thing in certain movies or whatever, that it's like a tradition of some sort where you cut fingers off and, you know, pay respects or whatever. It's so weird to me. So weird.
Well, the cutting the finger off was due to the stealing of the money,
Well,
which is a very common thing.
Yeah, that's a very common
Actually,
thing.
it's
But
normally
I'm
the
saying,
hand.
like, people do that when they either go out of line or, like, I don't know, they're asking too much or something. Like, they end up, like, having to show their not faith, but or like commitment, I guess, to someone that's like the leader of whatever. They always do that kind of stuff, and it's always weird to me. It's like, why would you want to have your people cutting their fingers off? I don't know.
Yeah.
Classic fear tactics. Sends a message.
It sends him.
It
I'm
does.
just this
It does.
evil guy that cuts people's fingers off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, right after that fight scene, I gotta say, it had my favorite quote in the entire movie.
Let's hear it.
We just got attacked by the Goonies from hell.
I didn't hear that. What the hell?
Yeah.
Aw.
When Chris got
When they're in the sewer.
Chris. No, when Tyler's on the phone, he's like, we just got attacked by the Goonies from hell.
Nice.
I need an extraction.
I think I was too distracted by the fact that he said it was the worst smelling sewer in the planet. Because, like,
Yeah.
really? Is it?
They looked like they were about to barf the entire time.
Well, it's funny you
that's
say
acting. That's good. But go
because
ahead.
they act like that and then they sit there normally. Like,
That's true, they
There's
do
no
at
way
one
they
point.
wouldn't be heaving that whole time.
also,
come on.
that car would have stunk.
Right. Like
Because they would have, if it was the worst smelling sewer in the world, it would be on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
it was
still
clearly
would
on
be like smelling. And you know what? The bad guys probably could have picked up their scent and fucking found them. They smelled so bad. What the heck? But at least
What'd you
more
think?
defenses. At least they took a shower afterwards.
Yeah. At Gasper's house.
At Hopper's house, yeah.
Yeah, his name in the movie is Gasper.
Gasper. Great name. I saw him appear and I got really happy because I like that actor. And then I got a really bad sinking feeling in my stomach. I was like, this is the guy that they want you to like that's going to screw him over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And I was so sad.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to ask you guys if you thought that was predictable because
Yeah.
even I was like, this is
Extremely,
predictable
yeah.
AF.
Yeah.
I think it would have been nice if he like let him go, but it was kind of unmercenary like for Tyler to not just take the money.
I think
which
that
is
was
the whole point
Yeah.
of what he was saying. Was
Yeah.
like, you're a mercenary. Take the money.
Again,
Yeah,
like I think it was
surprised.
forced trying to explain characters.
Yep.
That like they could have just done a normal story to make it work instead of doing this
Ah,
shit.
yes. Back in Argentina, when I was a boy, I would shoot quails or doves or pigeons or whatever the hell they are.
I thought he said he would shoot children. Was
No.
it- Okay.
He said a type of bird.
Okay.
Again, the
Pheasants.
mumble in this was pheasants.
I think so. Or
Okay.
pigeons. I'm not really sure. Which are
Yeah.
just pheasants, aren't they?
I
They're
don't know.
different types.
I
I'm not a bird.
I'm not a bird
bird
guy
man.
either. Yeah. Nor do I shoot
But
at them,
pheasants,
so.
you would go hunting for, so at least there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys like? Did you like his sunglasses in the house look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you wearing sunglasses? I mean, he was supposed to be drunk, so
yeah.
he was being goofy, I guess.
Right.
Sure. Why
Let's
not?
go with that.
We'll allow it.
And then the kid shoots him, and I'm like, okay, so the wife upstairs that he points to like 30 times, not waking
She's
up.
not upstairs.
Yeah.
She's in a different building.
Then why does he keep pointing upstairs?
The
I
kid's
think
upstairs.
he's like,
It's like, yeah, my wife upstairs, and he points.
No.
No, it's like, my wife cooked this, so
Right.
you better like it, and he like gestures up.
I think that's again like trying to just like throw him off your scent. Like,
Yeah. The wife
Maybe.
is not
Like-
there for sure because he says I have to
Yeah.
go leave and see my wife.
yeah, I have to go
Oh,
And
see
he
okay.
my
actually
wife.
leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he went upstairs. I don't know why. But I want to say that in this whole movie, every house seemed like it was just a shithole.
Yeah.
Every single place they walked in, trash, trash, trash. They get to his house, and I'm like, normal looking. Thank you. They do exist.
Yeah.
And then they go to Mira Sif's house, and I'm like, not normal looking. Completely over the top.
Yeah.
In the middle of the city of Dhaka.
Yeah, which I mean I know nothing about it, but I was thinking like again, it's just an over the top like villain like
Yes.
oh, I got drug money and look at how great like my golden chair is and
Yeah.
like maybe
Did he have a gold chair?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe the poverty divide is like that big, but I just highly doubt
Kind
it.
of like how, like in Parasite.
Yes.
But-
But that was a more
But
believable-
exaggerated.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, I don't think you need a fucking gold dinner chair.
No.
How about that? I don't need a throne.
I don't know what you're talking about. You need, I'm a spray paint you a chair. Gold.
I mean, okay, if it's gold because it decorally matches, that's different. This straight up looked like a throne.
I'm pretty sure it was probably gold. Not just spray painted gold. Like I'm going to do for you tomorrow.
Nah, dude, Netflix doesn't have that budget. They didn't have the budget for sound editing. They fucking painted the chair gold, all right?
Okay. okay. I wanted, so, a couple interactions that I really liked
Okay.
in this film between Tyler and Ovi.
Okay.
Tyler just dragged him around.
Yeah.
Like he didn't like baby him. Like, oh, you're my damsel in distress, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And I really liked that. I don't know why. Just because they always seem to like baby whoever they're saving. Like
They do. And I think that that's realistic, right? Like, I don't have time.
I don't have time to baby you around every single corner.
Right. Like, you should know that you need to, like, duck and cover and, like, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Which, like, he doesn't do that on his own. But, like, I don't know. That's realistically, you're trying to save the guy's life. You're stressed trying to keep yourself alive, right?
Yep.
And so you don't have time to be nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's true.
And then the other point was when he first rescued. That word I was trying to say was rescue, by the way, everybody. So when he first rescues him, and they're like out in his little Mercedes car, like, and they get out of the car before he gets the vest on. He's like, stand still. And he pulls his cell phone out and just takes a picture of him. And I'm like, just sitting there like, oh yeah, Tyler's just going on Instagram Live real quick, being like, guys, I got Ovi.
Look who I got, bitches.
And then I don't know why I thought that in my head, but just the way he was holding the phone up
Right.
made
yeah.
me think that, like he was taking a selfie.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's clearly doing it right to, like, say that he has him because he's like, say your
Right.
name, say your date of birth, and then he says his name and like sends it to whoever the fuck he sent it to.
Yeah.
So like I get it, but I do see your point. Like
I just thought it was funny. I like to put it like a dub over it where he's saying I'm going to Instagram Live.
Yeah. Well, and that phone has a really big screen, like not one crack after falling off buildings.
Yeah. Well, no, he hasn't fallen
Did
off a
he
building
fall
yet.
Yeah.
He hadn't fallen yet. He got into a big scuffle.
No, but he has the phone the whole damn movie, doesn't he?
I don't think he takes it out as much later on.
He calls people the whole time.
I don't pay attention to the
Is
I
the
did
phone
not pay
bloody?
attention
He
to the
definitely
phone.
used it again later, and it was fine.
We'll hope that maybe it was like bloody or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it got some worse for the wear on it.
Did you guys like the big final battle scene?
No.
Just no. I was gonna say where
It was
the
okay.
captain has a sniper, gets shot in the face, and nobody decides to go take the sniper and start shooting people up again. Like
That was a gripe I had. It's like you really have one marksman, that's it, and it's like
That's
very
it.
very action movie. Like you have one guy that actually seems to know how to use a rifle in your entire military, whatever, police. There's one person that actually
Cartel.
can shoot straight. Like
Yeah. And part of that that's confusing to me is like, okay, so they have this is realistic, right? They have the first force on the bridge and then they're all up in the house, like looking down on the bridge, and he's like, send another force. And so like he clears people out. But to your point, like he still has people at his house. So like he could probably send like a third or fourth wave with someone that can shoot a fucking gun. Like really?
he takes somebody out in a goddamn helicopter.
Yeah, like he has resources to have fixed that.
right.
You know, you didn't like that.
I mean, it's just very action movie. Like, yeah, these guys are very well trained and whatnot, but the chances of like continued oncoming threats. Well, I will say, like the Sanji guy, he did a really good job of like giving himself cover and changing position tactically. But just running and gunning, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna nitpick it too much, but it just seemed a little like, oh, superhuman-y vibe to me the whole time. But that's
Yeah.
how a lot of action movies are. Like, I'm gonna compare it to
Like
John
John
Wick.
Wick even.
John Wick does that a little bit, but it's also like more of a fantasy realm style, so I kind of give it a pass. Also, John Wick's like the greatest action movies ever, besides certain older ones that I won't get into. But I don't know. It just this movie went from realism to fantasy action back and forth a lot. It kind of felt like, because like I'll compare it to the big hotel or I don't know, the apartments scene where he's fighting off all the police dudes or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one I thought was really good. I thought that was really good at showing like mechanics and proper use of cover and all this other stuff and surprise, reaction versus action sort of stuff. Whereas the bridge scene was just shoot, 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 keep shooting, shoot, 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 shoot. Like that. That's
Move
what
forward
the
a
bridge
little
scene
bit.
felt like. Yeah, like it didn't seem like the other people were actually doing anything besides running at his bullets. Whereas like
Yeah.
in the actual hotel and stuff or whatever it is, I think it's an apartment. I'm not sure. It seemed like the guys were actually trying, and like he had to actually put effort into fighting them. So like, there's my verses, I guess, of like where the movie was good and bad. But
I will say I really liked Tyler's. What type of gun was it? It was not a grenade launcher, but I'm gonna call it a grenade launcher.
it was
Okay,
yeah.
well the grenade launcher
little
was
grenade
sweet.
launcher thing.
because
Yeah.
I was at first like, bullshit, that car blew up, and then I saw that he didn't shoot it with a regular rifle. I just thought he shot a car like in the like a propane tank and it exploded. I'm like,
Michael Bay style.
Michael Bay style. And
Yeah.
then they show what gun he's using, and I'm like, okay. I always go for those in like Call of Duty if I ever play those games.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And then suddenly Nick, her name was Nick, she just rolls out with a rocket, and I'm like, damn!
That's also a grenade launcher.
RPG, rocket propelled grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you didn't know that, Sam.
Look
Yeah.
at me learning stuff.
I don't know. I lost my tangent.
Okay. What would you what would you say? I've never shot a rocket, and like if I would shoot it at a Range Rover or a Land
Yeah.
Rover.
I knew you were gonna
All
say
right.
that.
Now, do they spot like in a lot of movies? Now I might be nitpicking here because I don't actually understand the weapon in full. Do they like? How accurate are they? Would you think? Because I don't think you've shot one now as well.
No, I mean, I don't know a lot about them, but imagine something like that. They're only accurate, like anything else, they're only accurate to a certain range, right?
Yeah. Because hers went really straight.
And the margin
in other
for
movies,
error,
they always...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just took that on whim. I was like, the helicopter wasn't super far away, but where she hit it, I don't know if she was aiming at the middle of the tail or what, because wouldn't you aim for the biggest part of the object when you have something that is literally like a grenade with wheels? I don't know. Or
grenade with thrusters.
Wings or, so honestly, I don't know. I just kind of was like, yeah, whatever for that because, I don't know.
It's just, what is it, like where you're splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking at Sam making the motion because I'm blanking on what I was trying to say. The splitting of hairs.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to...
Oh my word!
Why
are you
do I have to
defending?
keep defending this movie?
What do you
Because
mean?
we're on. Tim and I are on the offense right now.
I know, but
you're not used to that.
I know. I'm always on the offense. I was ready to build my restaurant, but you guys are building it for me, so that works.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say, like,
we took over full construction.
yeah, that's cool. You guys are a good construction team. But what I was gonna say was that, to your point, Tim, like, it's probably not that far away, and like, it's a big weapon. Thing that flies out, so I don't know. I'm willing to give that a pass. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I am.
I'll give you some. I'll give you some beef to throw on that patty.
Like a double patty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're throwing beef on the patty, bruh.
Making one of them. What is it? Baconators. Throw some bacon on there. All right.
There we go.
So you remember, like, we'll go back to the first scene of the movie when he's walking on the bridge and they hear the shot and it hits him.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
You remember that?
It's backwards.
Yeah. Because that makes you think that dude is far away, right? Like, far away. When in reality, he's in, like, a building across the bridge. Like, it's not even that far. Mm-hmm. You would have definitely not heard the shot before it landed at that distance. Because that was something I was waiting for. And then it goes to show, like, later on when she finds him, he's literally, like, she can see his entire upper half through whatever scope or whatever she's using. And you can see when he looks through his, he's not far. He's not very far.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
That shot,
like,
at the very least, you would have heard it as it hit. There was no... For the travel time they gave that bullet was way too far.
Well, it did some loop-de-loops, man. You missed the loop-de-loops.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a Looney Tunes thing where it's like
all just
zigzagging around all the cars.
Yeah.
It's just...
It was purely for the, the movie, just to be more like, oh, that's cool.
Intense moment. Like, you're like, oh, shit, is he actually going to get hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Right. Like, I think it was in there for dramatics.
It was.
That's not the word I was looking for. To make it
dramatic effect?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. But then...
you just forgot one word.
Well, because I was thinking about my other part of my sentence and how you said it was like a Looney Tunes thing. Well, maybe the same guy that made the radar and put the boats on there was like, we should have a Looney Tunes bullet.
Oh, shit.
Wanted,
so
right?
did they just hire... Yeah, I was about to say, did they hire everybody from Wanted?
Yeah.
Oh.
Clearly not, because nobody can shoot straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only Chris Hemsworth and Saju.
Yeah. And Nick the chick.
Nick the chick. Oh, I like that. Nick the chick. G could shoot. Maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he could. He took out those guys in the building at the very beginning.
Yeah. No. Yeah, he definitely could. Sorry, I was thinking back. He could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the director.
He just wasn't around. Oh, nice. He just wasn't around for very long, was what I was thinking. But
he was at the beginning.
Nice
like,
cameo.
Yeah.
He was, but he wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Like, characters are just flying in and out of this movie, not being explained, half explained. Like, what?
Apparently, the dude... I wrote this down because I thought it was absolutely hilarious, but I'm sure there was, like, no air conditioning in this building. Mm-hmm. But they walk in... Tyler walks in, which... I just want to also note that we are really good at sticking with one name. We got Tyler, Chris, Thor. Mm-hmm. We can't just pick one. But Tyler walks into the room of the mercenaries, and there's the skinny, the guy that flies the helicopter, the skinny dude. Mm-hmm. His shirt is just unbuttoned halfway down.
Okay.
And I'm just like, yeah, I totally wear all my shirts like that.
Yeah.
But now in reality, Bangladesh is probably pretty freaking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
That's not that weird.
Yeah, and it's like bad guy style.
But he was a good
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, well.
Do you not know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
When they go into the
You
mercenary room.
described him as the skinny guy in the mercenary room, so I'm like,
The mercenary room with Nick in it,
Did he
and
have
then
like curly hair?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and he ended up flying the good guy helicopter.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
picture him now. He looked okay. Never mind. That's it too.
That was either the wife or sibling to Nick, based on their names.
Okay.
I think his name was Adam Kahn,
Okay.
and hers was Nick Kahn.
Okay.
So there is some sort of association between the two, most likely. Unless they're like some long lost descendants of Genghis Khan, and somehow they both ended up with the surname of Khan.
Well, I know for some countries, like anybody that's of a certain background gets a name.
Like blacksmith gives Smith.
Right. Like, but it's different because
I know.
you don't because it's not English,
Like
right?
some
But-
crazy percent of the country of South Korea are Kims.
Right, but that came about a different way, I think.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know much about the culture.
But maybe another country was Khan, is all I was trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, I was just saying, like, if you're of a certain culture, there's a possibility that you're all named Khan.
Conquerors.
Yeah.
I don't actually know the, what is it, etymology?
Etymology, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the etymology.
That's a
of-
word.
That is a word that I struggle to say because I feel like there should be an N in there, but there's not. I did not study up on root words
Yeah.
of last names.
Yeah.
Sam, I'll leave that to you.
Well, yeah, well, I was just saying, I don't know. They just pointed that out again in the book that I just read, so I was just
Oh, really?
covering facts in here. My only other beef patty here, I only have one left because you guys covered most of them.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
We did all your work for you this time.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
fought
but
her
then
on a
I had
few,
to
but yeah.
defend it.
I know.
Rude. Was that in that apartment complex scene that Tim was talking about earlier that he thought was realistic? The kid loses his bulletproof vest, right? And then they kill so many people. And, like, bro doesn't think that maybe he should pick it up. And again, like, I'm going to sit here and defend it and be like, they didn't have time. Or, like, he didn't think about it. Or it might have been hard to get it off a dead corpse.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I feel like it might have been helpful later on in the movie. Just saying.
I've got 2 more points, Tim. I'll let you go first if you have anything.
I like the ending.
I hated that.
Get
ending,
out! We can't. No!
Yeah.
So.
I liked
Are you
it.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they legitimately left it. So Joe Russo, one of the Marvel Russo brothers, he is a producer, and he said, "Yeah, we left it blurry just so that it's like ambiguous because we might want to do a sequel."
Wait.
Yeah, so
what?
Extraction 2 coming to your home video of Netflix in like
They left it ambiguous about which part. That's gonna
just the blur.
change.
Yeah, I don't think it was ambiguous of who the blur was at the end.
Wait. Blur at the end. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
When he dies.
He
Falls
doesn't
off the
die.
bridge? Yeah, he dies.
He doesn't die.
If he doesn't
No.
die from that, then this entire movie is dog shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They leave the so when the kid dives, right?
Into the pool.
And he gets out and there's a blurry image. It's supposed to be left.
Oh, I must have like blinked.
Okay, yeah, it was on for like a second.
Yeah, and then it cuts to the credits. Yeah, that's why when you were like, I like this ending, I was like, are you serious? Like, he totally died. And then they just, like, bring him back to life as a
I'm
blur.
gonna have to look that up because that's gonna drive me nuts. So there's a blurry,
Yeah.
blurry like person sitting there.
Blurry, light-skinned person.
Yeah, so, like,
Maybe it's
he does his, like, pencil dive into the pool at his high school or wherever he is. He sits down there, meditates, does the Chris Hemsworth thing, pops up, looks over, and presumably Tyler is there, blurred out.
I'll have to look it up again.
Yeah, Joe Russo was like, yeah, we left it ambiguous. I was like, that's not ambiguous. It looks nothing like his dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it
So,
looks nothing like anybody else.
No.
So-
Okay, that actually ticks me off because I was like, the note that I wrote down
I love
specifically
ending.
was him dying made him human.
Yes, I would have liked it if he died and was eaten by crocodiles or alligators.
Well, I mean, just
I
the
went a
fact
little
that he
Looney
got
Tuny
shot
there.
in basically they made a point. He got shot in the neck where a major artery was. He started bleeding, losing
Yeah.
consciousness. Like he's already lost a lot of blood. He's been shot a bunch, and then he falls in the water. You cannot tell me that somebody falls in the water that far up while maintaining a wound like that and can apply pressure to that part of their neck and swim around. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't care. Like,
Just no.
being in the water, no, yeah, I don't see it. And I thought it was good that he died, but I guess he didn't. Question mark. Because now I'm really salty.
Sorry, dude. Okay, so
Join the burger restaurant.
Yeah, no kidding.
I just want to say that water in real life is so polluted that I think they had to like dam it and get the water to be clear for that scene so that like you could see him in the water. Like when they took the camera down.
Oh, okay.
And he was like floating in the water. Also, if it was so clear, you would have seen his pool of blood at least traveling down.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like, when you bring up the water clarity, and the same sort of shit happens when he jumps off the cliff in the beginning. Like, they're looking at the water, and it looks murky as fuck, and then they put the camera down there, and Chris Hemsworth is, like, in a freshwater spring, and you can see him perfectly.
Yeah. Also, who's jumping into... I feel like Australia, you're just gambling if you're jumping into that. Just saying.
Probably, yeah.
Especially considering the fact he's sitting on, like, rocks.
A rock bed, yeah.
Like, and it's not even like, oh, there's a few rocks here and there. Right. It's a freaking rock bed. And
he doesn't even jump. He kind of just walks off.
Oh, my God. Mm.
Yeah.
Now, who's the best diver? You got Tyler jumping cliff diving. You got Ovi. That's his name. Ovi. Mm-hmm. Jumping off a little diving board and then just doing a pencil dive, which I thought was hilarious.
Who doesn't love a pencil dive? But continue.
Okja.
Okja. Not a competition.
Tim, who do you think had the best dive?
Okja.
That splash gave me 10 out of 10.
Derpy. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, sorry, that was my last question.
I liked it.
and then Saju. Did I already say this? That how much more of a badass would he have looked if he had a like nice beard, a nice full beard like Chris Hemsworth had?
Yeah, I could see it.
I'm always saying that because he has like long dark hair, and I have a beard.
Yeah. Well, I just think he annoyed me, and I think it was because like the makeup didn't look right. Like when he was bloody versus when Chris Hemsworth was bloody.
He looks like he dove in a pool.
Yeah, like a fake zombie, like horror film. Yeah, but then like Chris Hemsworth looked fine. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. I'll agree with you. Maybe if he had a beard or something.
Beard would have looked so much cooler.
They could have spent less on the makeup to make it look more realistic. Instead of it being however it was. But anywho. Tim?
Last remarks.
I like that the girl went back and killed the guy.
Yes. Yeah. It was kind of
that
like...
That was badass. She was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that was funny, and I liked that she got revenge, and her dress was really pretty.
Yeah,
so
no, it was badass.
I was
I said, oh God, because I pulled up that scene you guys were talking about, and it's clearly him, just blurry.
Yeah!
Right?
Like there's no question.
No!
I love how the producer, Joe Russo, is just like, we left it ambiguous. Nah, did you? Is a blurred image ambiguous? Hit us up on Twitter and Instagram. Is a blurred image ambiguous or not?
Yeah.
Of clearly a single character that would be walking towards you because there's no other storytelling reason for another character to approach him as a blur.
Well, even if they did approach him as a blur, he was clearly in a Chris Hemsworth outfit. Like, couldn't he have at least?
It might be Chris Pratt.
True. It could be another Chris Evans, perhaps.
Ooh.
But anywho, like he's clearly in the outfits that he was in the other movie. Or the whole movie. Like, it's...
Yes, I know.
It's so clearly him. Like, even down to the fact that there are sunglasses on him and they're blurred. Like, come on. Come on!
So, Tim's, like, really upset right now.
I'm very upset about this. It's so obvious.
I'm sorry, dude.
And it's so,
I'm sorry.
There's no way.
We should never have told him.
Like, I thought the movie was pretty good. I liked the ending because of it. And then all of a sudden this. And now I'm like, this completely just ruins the entire thing for me.
No, it did for me too. Like, not that I was really erecting praise statues for it at all, but like the second they showed the image, I straight up looked at Adam, put my head in my hands, and I said, "Well, you don't have to wait very long to figure out how I feel about this movie."
Yeah.
Because it's fucking ridiculous. I don't think I've used this many fucks in an episode. It deserves it. It deserves it.
All right.
That's where the movie just went from like a good, solid action movie to a Hollywood movie. Just straight Hollywood. Like, I don't know how to explain that any better, but...
No, I agree. It takes away from the good stuff.
It takes away from the ending.
Yeah, it takes away from a lot.
All right, I'm gonna do the cast now.
Okay.
Dare you?
Do
You
it.
won't do it.
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
The face off.
So Tyler is played by Thor himself. Odin's son arrives in Australia. He's trained in weapons, no longer uses a hammer. I also really want there to be an outtake where he's just like standing in a room and yells, "Hammer!" Just like holds out his arm, like hoping that Mjolnir comes. But did you guys know that he is going to be starring in a Hulk Hogan biopic?
I did. I saw that the other day. I was jazzed.
Chris Hemsworth is going to be Hulk Hogan.
I like it. Does that mean they're gonna shoot down here in Clearwater? Because I'm all for it.
Maybe they might. It's either in Clearwater or it's going to be in Hollywood, Florida. Because if you didn't know this about Hollywood Hulk Hogan, he is named after Hollywood, Florida, not Hollywood, California.
So there you go. The more you know.
Learned ya something good. Now,
Learned you something good. I don't know where that came
Woo! I like it.
I like it. It's going to be our new catchphrase.
Yeah.
Sam's really excited that Chris Hemsworth might come to town for this biopic. It's only really funny because in one of the so this movie takes place all in Bangladesh, but it was all filmed over in India. Bangladesh and India are right there on top of each other.
Well, but it doesn't matter.
It
It's too
doesn't
late.
matter.
But I was gonna say I'm pretty sure there are a couple locations that said Mumbai, but continue.
Well, the jail was in Mumbai.
Yeah. Okay.
But Dhaka is in Bangladesh,
Yes.
where the
Continue.
majority of the film takes place. Anyways, they are at some city that I cannot pronounce, and I didn't write it down, so I'm not even going to try. There are people that waited 15 hours just to get a glimpse of Chris Hemsworth. Apparently, he is extremely popular over in India.
Well, he's extremely popular everywhere. He's a
Well,
nice
he's
guy.
Thor. He's Thor, yeah.
Yeah.
He's also, if you didn't know, he's in Star Trek and Snow White and the Huntsman. And Cabin in the Woods. Going to the next guy, Ovi.
Ovi.
All right, now I'm going to butcher Ovi's name, and I do apologize to the actor. His name is Ruud Harakash.
Okay.
I'm probably butchering it, but, and then his last name is Jaiswal. He is in movies known as he's in a TV show called Mahabharat,
Okay.
Noor, and The Tenant. Those last two were movies.
Wait, The Tenant by Chris Nolan?
No, that's Tenant. This is
Oh.
Tenant.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. It's A-N-T, like a tenant of a building.
Oh, okay.
That's tenant. I don't know.
Okay.
Saju is Randeep Huda. Gave me a lot easier name there. Thank you, Randeep. And then he's been in... I know you guys have heard all of these films. I'm sorry. Sarbjet or Sarbiet, depending on how it's pronounced. Biba Boys. I'm kind of interested in that one.
Yeah.
Highway, and then Once Upon a Time in Mumbai.
Oh, I'm interested in that one too.
It's like a gangster movie in Mumbai.
All right.
I looked into it because I was like, there's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's Once Upon a Time
In New Mexico.
in New Mexico.
Yeah.
There's another one, too.
Yeah. I'm interested. I might watch that one.
Yeah. Amir Asif is played by Priyanshu Pinuli. He's in Bhavesh Joshi. Oh, Bhavesh Joshi Superhero.
Okay.
Do Katin. Those are three separate words, by the way. And then Body. It's probably Bow. It's Bawdi. Anyway, that film apparently was either nominated for a shitload of things. They had 21 little thingies that was like, oh, this movie was selected.
Oh, cool.
So
Maybe we'll
it's a
watch.
20-minute short film.
Oh, nice.
And then Gasper. Tim, who's Gasper played by?
Gasper, I don't know his actual name.
Oh yeah, do you know his
I
real
kept
name?
calling him Harper or Hopper or whatever.
I just want you to know that you were very
David,
close.
It's David Harper, right? Or
Harbor.
Harbor, yeah. But it's funny because in Stranger Things it's Hopper.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's-
I just refer to him as Hopper.
Yeah.
yeah.
Sam, did you know that he is in 3 separate superhero films?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's in the new Black Widow film, right?
Yes.
That's it. That's all.
He's in Hellboy.
Oh,
He
yes,
is
yes,
Hellboy.
Yes, the new one. Okay,
And
yeah.
he's in Suicide Squad.
He's in Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Okay.
He's like a minor character, I think.
I mean, that movie sucked, but okay.
Not really that shot's fired. And then he's also in Revolutionary Road, A Walk Among the Tombstones.
Yeah, that was supposed to be really good. I never saw
I don't know. It's like from... One of them is from 2006, one's
I feel
from
like I've
2014.
seen that. Welcome in the
Yeah, it got a lot of
It was
praise.
yeah, like he like dipped off the radar for a long time. Okay, and then the last person I have is Nick Khan, played by Golshifta Faharani. She's in a movie called Peterson, another one about Ellie, Body of Lies, and are you ready? She is in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we just watched those. She's the witch, like the bald witch chick.
She totally is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's so creepy looking in that movie. But yes, that's totally her. I see it. Ah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. So those are my actors and my real quick facts. Sam Hargrave is the director, and
I'm just kidding.
you don't know anything about him.
I know. Sorry, Sam.
Tim's probably a huge fan of his, and you didn't even know it.
I mean, clearly Tim's a huge fan of his.
Doubt it.
He is the stunt coordinator for almost every single Marvel film.
Oh.
Okay, then that was allowed.
Eh.
I'm just kidding.
Tim likes Marvel movies.
I'm sure he did a lot of work as a stunt coordinator. There's a lot of shit going on in those movies.
Yeah. So there's a nationwide ban on firearms in India,
Okay.
or at least on the set. Like, you can't actually have, like, real guns. So all the guns are made out of rubber, and they have to digitally animate them shooting.
Whoa.
And the sounds.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work for this film.
You would
That
think they
almost gives
just
them
go
a
somewhere where
pass.
they could do it. But
Right. And Tim,
Interesting.
tell me you're prepared.
prepared?
Okay, so Tim's prepared. 2 actors were originally slotted to play the lead actor in this film.
Oh man.
Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ah.
Damn.
Now, I actually would have kept Chris Hemsworth of the 3,
yeah,
but
he's younger.
I just
fits the
I
role
just
a little
don't see
more, but
Schwarzenegger running around doing this stuff.
I think.
Yeah, but at the same time,
I
it's
love
like his
Arnold.
type of movie.
But yeah, and it's definitely like his type of movie. But I think he's beyond the like all the action in this one and stuff.
Yeah.
Age wise, like I love Arnold and everything.
Yeah, you do.
Bruce Willis, I think, is kind of in that same category. I think it would have been like if you would have put one of those two in it, it would have been more of like Liam Neeson and Taken. Like there had been
Yeah.
a lot of cuts and stuff. Like not saying they couldn't do it or anything. I just think it was a good pick to go with Chris Hemsworth, somebody that's a little bit younger and still in like their action age prime. You know, I mean, I could even see like Brad Pitt over those other ones just because he's still a little bit younger and like he does a lot of action movies still and it's pretty good. But
That's funny that you said that because the part of the reason why when Ovi is like, you don't look like a Tyler, you look more like a Brad.
That's pretty great. Yeah.
It's because people think he looks like Brad Pitt. And I was like, I don't really see
Really,
it.
I don't
but
see
okay.
that. No.
I don't see it.
It's their eyes. They both have kind of smaller eyes.
Really?
Maybe. I definitely can't see Bruce Willis doing it.
No.
I can
No.
see Arnold doing it because he's done it in the past when he was younger,
Right.
but I agree, like, he's too old for it. It
Think,
would have felt,
yeah, at this point you would be too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought Chris Hemsworth did a good job with
No,
it.
I did too. Yeah.
More people are really excited to see. I think more people are excited to see Chris.
Yeah,
Hemsworth.
well, and because he's been Thor, and, like, yes, he's done other stuff, but I like to see people branch out. Like, I wasn't a Chris Evans fan until I saw him in Knives Out. Like, I like to see the Marvel people branch out because
Yeah.
they are...
ScarJo.
Yeah, they are good actors, and ScarJo especially. Well, she's been around forever and done other stuff, but
Right.
I'm glad to see them break out because
Yeah.
Like, she really blew up once she took Black Widow, but watching her in Jojo Rabbit in A Marriage Story, you're just like, damn, girl.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I know this is still in the action realm, but I don't know. I like to see him as a different
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, he's using guns instead of hammers.
Rubber guns
Rubber guns.
instead of rubber
And he's
hammers.
not like joking around. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'll have to see the new Terminator to compare like the action for like Arnold, but
Yeah,
We've not seen it, just talking about the commercials.
Right.
just because
yeah.
I was kind of shocked that like they brought him back because I thought like I get it, it's his franchise, but at the same time like, damn dude, how many Terminator?
it's
movies are
like
you gonna
it's
come
like the
back for?
Expendables though. Like the action,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I've
would have
not
been a
seen
lot like the
those.
Expendables in this, I think, because the guys are kind of
just
older.
shit blowing up.
Yeah. So I think they did a good thing getting a younger actor. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And let's be real, I'm sure the Russo brothers, or at least the one Russo brother, is going to use somebody he is like familiar with
Right.
because of all the Avengers films.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, Sam. The time is now. Would you flip it on?
Oh, Oh, she's pausing.
I would say.
Oh no, she's got to think.
I have to pause some more. So, like, I want to say I wanted to like this film. Like, I set it aside so we could do it for the podcast because I had high hopes for it. Like, even when it didn't make sense and I was watching it and it was, like, dragging on and being ridiculous, I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it for Chris Hemsworth. But at the end of the day, I'm going to flip it off because of the fucking ending. Adam.
Okay. So, if you were just like, it ended right after the kid dove and, like, he's just underwater and, like, he opens his eyes and then he turns into a superhero, yeah, watch that film. But the ending for me killed it. So, no, flip it off.
Yep.
Tim.
I'm going to have to say flip it on. I really hope they don't make a second one. I think standalone is exactly how this film should be, and it's one of those films that should not get a second one.
Mm-hmm.
And he should have died.
I do hate my... Yeah, I do hate that... I can't even say it. Cause
He can't even say
come up with the words. It's just so... It was good, and then they had him come back, and I just can't... Like, even though I say flip it on, that's just so... Oh, that sucks. Like,
yeah,
it just sucks.
It ruins it.
So let's just say that Tim is a yes, definitely right now. But if they make a sequel,
if they make a sequel, I'm probably not even gonna watch it.
Now he's gonna go back and say flip it off because it's stupid and I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, let the guy.
We're
do
petty over
work
here at Flipper
somewhere
Flicks.
else, but,
Yeah. So it's gonna be my turn to pick. That was Tim's pick of streaming original. So Samantha, dear, will you spin it for me? All right. We have 2 categories we haven't seen yet. I'm really hoping I get one of those.
Classics.
We're back to the classics. We've had every other classics right now.
Wow.
We don't get it for the first, like, 9 episodes, and then 5 episodes in a row we get it. Or something.
So now we've had,
that.
like, 3 box office busts, 3 streaming originals, 3 classics. We're saying we're going to ditch categories at 5, so we might be getting some new stuff on the wheel.
Yeah, you guys are going to get to hear.
Hopefully landing on it.
Yeah. That's a major thing is you want to land on the new stuff.
Because I promise you that we have 2 categories on there and we just haven't landed on it.
I don't even know what the other categories are at this point.
Yeah, like, okay, so wordplay, where we give you 2 words and you have to find a movie in it. And then Before Their Time, which are, like, called classics, which would be a fun category. So
Oh,
it's all right. We're evening it out. If people want to listen just for the classics, now we'll have a couple episodes for them.
Yeah, for reals.
All in good time. So, Adam, you get to pick a classic. That's exciting.
Yeah. I think I'm the only one I'm the third one?
Yeah, you have. Yeah,
we all have chosen a classic at this point.
I believe so.
Yeah. Sweet.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and tune in next week to see which classic we pick.